Being shortly after 6:30, we'll call the meeting to order. Calling the meeting to order, would you please rise for the, to salute the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Doherty? Mr. Gendron?
Here.
Mr. Gignac?
Here.
Mr. Hoey?
Here.
Mayor Kennedy?
Here.
Ms. Martin?
Here.
Mr. Dakota?
Here.
6 present, 1 absent.
Thank you. Before we begin the meeting, Mr. General wanted to be recognized. Mr. General.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I hate to throw you a curveball on your first meeting, but we have a group here from Lowell High School with the Generation Citizen Project, which is a pilot project that's being tried out at Lowell High School this year, and they've been working on a civics project that they requested to present to the school committee. So if it's okay with you and the members, I'd like to give them a few minutes to speak about it.
Hearing no objection, proceed.
Thank you.
My name is Joan Kersner. I'm a volunteer in Mr. Brian Scheckman's social studies class at Lowell High School. The class is actually facing history and ourselves, but this year, Lowell High School is piloting a civics program called Generation Citizen in 3 different social studies classes, and they have the Generation Citizen curriculum 2 out of the 5 days of the week that the social studies class meets. This group has basically grown from the ground up their own project to implement the curriculum that is Generation Citizen, and they would like very much to describe that to you tonight since the school committee figures into their agenda. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce the students.
Okay.
Thank you for having us here again. My name is Ryan Kim, and I am a senior at Lowell High School. I'm here with Addie, Elizabeth, and Allison. Like us, my sister was also a member of the Lowell High School class of 2013. And so obviously she's a few years out of college, out of high school, I mean. Except the difference is after she graduated high school, my sister was accepted into UMass Lowell, into the biology program, except she had to drop out 1 month into her freshman year due to medical reasons. And although she only went to school for 1 month, she's still stuck with the loan that's about $30,000. And there's just no way that she can get it removed. And it's so high because she wasn't really aware of the process to how to apply to financial aid. And we realized that this is just a huge problem. It's not just with my sister, it's also with other students. People just aren't aware of how to come about this process. Like I know Adeline has a familiar story.
One of my best friends graduated last year, and she got into her dream school after a lot of work, but she and her single mother weren't able to pay to go to that school, so now she's at a state school, but which she's fine with, but I just think that it was really sad that she had to sacrifice her dream education for financial reasons. So we did this project in order to implement financial literacy classes into the high school, which we know would be a long process if it were to be approved. And we have some ideas, such as implementing it into the advisory period or into SAT prep classes, just so students are more financially aware to go into college and then the real world afterwards. But yeah, and we took a survey that Elizabeth has some stuff to say about that. We had our students do a survey.
So like Addie just said, we had each grade level, except freshmen, take a survey asking them what they knew about financial literacy and if they wanted the class to be a part of their curriculum. Sophomores said that 64% of them wanted it, 70% of juniors, and 85% of seniors. So there's clearly an increasing trend. I feel that students, as they get older and closer to applying to college, definitely start to realize how really important financial literacy is.
So clearly all of us are affected by not being educated enough in financial literacy and what it's going to be like in the real world. So we really are here to ask today for your support and for your push to push financial literacy to be implemented into the curriculum at Lowell High School, because we do think that is a possible thing. And I know that me and Addie are seniors, and it's not going to affect us. It might not even affect Elizabeth and Allison. But we are thinking long term for the people of our community and for the people of our school. Like, my brothers will be going to Lowell High School in a few years, and I want them to be in a better position to apply for colleges than I was and my sister was, and then for the rest of us. And I know that it is possible, and it could be a lot of work, but we're pleased just asking for your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Unless you want to leave it here?
I was just,
Yes, Mr. General.
I just want to thank these folks for coming down, and as you know, a father of 4 students who are going to or gone through college, God knows we could use some financial literacy education. So thanks for that presentation, and I think it is something that is really needed. So I appreciate your efforts.
Thank you. Next order. Yes. Ms. Mott.
Just a couple, actually, and I don't know if the superintendent's prepared to answer, or we've made some inroads in this area. I know that there was a statewide initiative that initiated a specific class in financial literacy, not exactly the way I had hoped we'd go, but it was at least something that we started. I don't know what the current status of that is at the high school, because my sense was that it was a required course that all students were going to be taking. Lots of shaking heads over there, so perhaps we could get some additional information and get that back at another meeting. I might also recommend that we actually bring this to the curriculum subcommittee as an opportunity. If that hasn't found its footing at the high school, we need to address it. Secondly, I would say for my senior friend over there, when summertime comes, there is a Student Finance 101 course. It's usually a 3 to 4 day course that happens at Community Teamwork Inc. Just happens to be part of my programming, so I'm aware of it. But it is a free 4-day session. It's all about Student Finances 101. It's specifically designed for students who are going off to college for the first time and will be eagerly awaiting loan payments, not to mention all the many, many credit card offers that you'll get in your mailbox on your first day of school. So it's a great opportunity. You should keep an eye out for that. But I would certainly say we could invite this group and the staff and volunteers who are part of it to come to the curriculum subcommittee, maybe give us a better sense of what, we can get a better sense of what's actually happening from the administration, and then some ideas for moving forward from the students who are living and breathing this every day. Thank you very much for coming down tonight and sharing your information with us.
Thank you. This wasn't an item that was on the agenda this evening, but maybe one of you could put it on the agenda for the next meeting, and then it could be referred to a subcommittee where they could take further and appropriate action at that time. Thank you very much for coming down. Appreciate it. Thank you. The next order of business is acceptance of the minutes. The chair would ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the regularly scheduled school committee meeting of Wednesday, December 16th, 2015, and the minutes of the special meeting of the Lowell School Committee of Tuesday, December 29th, 2015.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Gendron, seconded by Mr. Gignac. Discussion on the motion. All in favor, all opposed, so voted. The next order of business is a memorial for Wanda Rurak, mother of retired Deputy Superintendent of Schools Ted Rurak, and the grandmother of Stockholza school teacher Mark Rurak. You rise for a... Next, we'll go to motions. We have a motion by Mr. Gendron to request the superintendent to begin planning for the 3rd Annual Community Service Day for LPS and develop a report of community service hours delivered by the school. Do we have a second to the motion? We have a second by Mr. Gignac. On the motion, Mr. Gendron.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So for the past 2 years, we've held in Lowell Public Schools Community Service Day, which is a day in the spring where we recognize all the community service that is done across the Lowell Public School systems. And last year, we calculated that we did about 16,000 hours of service. So I'd like to start planning for that again this year. Usually what we've done in the past is we've chosen specific service projects to do on that day, but in general, it's a day to recognize all the service that we do. In the past, we've put a little task force together. This is one of Ms. Abrams' favorite things to do, and the task force has the job of collecting all of the projects that are going on within the school system so that we can calculate the number of hours that we do, and also choosing projects that we're going to do for that day. So if it's, Mr. Superintendent, I'm asking if we can initiate that again so that we can kick this off sometime again this spring.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor of the motion? All opposed? So voted. We have another motion by Mr. Gendron to request the superintendent to develop a 5-year facility plan to handle middle school population growth. We have a second on the motion, second by Ms. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the superintendent. Mr. Superintendent, there was a motion on probably over a year old now that you recently removed from your motion report by myself and Mr. Leary asking about a plan to handle the growth in middle school population. And I noticed that you did have a response to that that talked about what we were going to do in the next year or two. But really, the real problem in middle school growth is going to come when the kids who are now at the STEM Academy, the former Rogers School, move on to the next level, move on to a middle school, because that's a brand new school that we opened up last year, and right now there's no place to put those kids. So what I'm hoping that we can do is develop a longer-term plan. It's my understanding that these units that we purchase to add classrooms, the trailer units that we purchase, trailer is probably not the appropriate word, but effectively that's what it is. The add-ons that we put on the schools to add classrooms, they are more economical if we can purchase them over longer periods of time and plan over longer periods of time with them. So I really think it's important that we start now planning what we're going to do over the next 5 years to handle this additional population growth in the middle schools.
Ms. Martin?
I just wanted to add on, and I know that both of these are ongoing efforts. I mean, the conversations around middle school population explosions and our overall conversations that we're going to be having around the school zones and all that. It's going to be a very long and complicated process, and I think it's the kind of endeavor that there will be just an enormous number of moving parts that the administration is going to need to kind of take into consideration. There'll be a lot of, I'm sure, parental involvement and teacher involvement across the district. But I would say, looking at the use of the portables will be part of that conversation, and I don't know if it might make more sense to make sure that we kind of dovetail that all in together as part of one big process, so that decisions about where we're going to be able to put these units, how it's going to work if we rezone and shift things around. I mean, they're all going to be part of the same conversation. So I think we might be better served if we include the other aspect of that with Mr. Gendron's motion.
Wait, Mr. Superintendent?
Yes, thank you. I'm going to ask Mr. Antonelli to give you a brief update of what we're doing so far with that.
We have been looking at the enrollment projections that we've seen through NESDEC, and they have like a 10-year projection, and you can definitely see that there will be an increase in the middle grades starting next year, and each year it goes up for 4 or 5 years. So we've been looking at that very closely. We have been looking at modulars. We have talked to modular classrooms. We have talked to 3 different principals that we thought could be affected next year. And we have a special meeting this upcoming Tuesday with the central administration, as well as with some key principals, to start reviewing those figures and to look at different options that are available to the school department. And we will keep you abreast of any news that we have.
Any further discussion? Mr. Dakota?
I'm just curious if staffing would be an issue as well for that, and is that included in your?
Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, actually, it's not just the facilities. Mr. Antonelli is looking with the team at the facilities, but I think more important, even if we do have the place, we find the place, it's a staffing issue that's going to become a huge issue for us, because these kids, you'd have to provide them with teachers, paras, specialists, special ed support, ELL support, and so forth. We have a very significant increase every year coming up starting this year. It's not in 2 years. It's in this year, a very significant one by 150, 200, and it's going to keep on going for the next 5 years before it's supposed to level off.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor of the motion? All opposed? So voted. The next portion of the agenda is the reports of the superintendent. We have a report from David J. McHugh Alternative School Bridge Program, the annual report, which is attached. Chair would entertain a motion to accept the report as a report of progress. So moved by.
I'm sorry, if I could just, you may need a second too, sorry. I just have a question.
Okay. Motion by Ms. Martin, second by Mr. Hoey. Ms. Martin?
I didn't have it in my packet.
This one?
Yeah, I didn't get a hard packet, I just
Oh,
was online, so I don't know if it just didn't make it to the Dropbox. It might not have.
Don't know. We'll give you one now,
That'd be great, that'd be great.
and then we'll make sure that she might not have uploaded it to the Dropbox if she would have.
Keep it, I'm
In
sorry,
paper
thank you very
format?
much.
Oh. We'll,
It's fine, I can look through it.
Okay. Mr. Gendron?
Yeah, I think we all need a copy of it, so I didn't get a copy either, so,
we'll make sure you get it.
right.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so with it,
I prefer experienced.
so the motion before the body is to accept the report as a report of progress. So we'll proceed with that. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed?
Aye.
So voted. Next motion is a quarterly report on the motions. The chair would entertain a motion to accept the quarterly report as a report of progress. Motion by Ms. Martin, second by Mr. Gendron. Mr. Gendron.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the superintendent, I noticed that you have the Lincoln School Mill City Gross Community Garden Project on there, and the status is reported at the meeting. Oh, it does say ongoing,
Yeah.
but since you bring that up, that is something that has been lingering for a long time now, and I know that Mill City Grows would really like the opportunity to get out and start some work on that project before we have snow. So, and Mr. Mayor, maybe this is something you can help with, because my understanding was that it was tied up in the city solicitor's office. The thrust of the motion was to allow the school to use a vacant city-owned lot adjacent to the Lincoln School basketball court that is now overgrown and got all kinds of debris in it for the purpose of a school garden. So, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Superintendent, if you could, I don't know if you have any further report on that, but if not, maybe you could
We have
light a
no
fire.
further report on that. Last we've heard, it's with the city solicitor's office, and we asked more than once, and it's still there. So if anybody can, maybe Mr. Mayor can ask them to see if they can speed it up.
I'll speak to the law office tomorrow, and we'll see if we can't get it on the agenda for next week. And if we can do it before that, even before it gets on the agenda, then we'll try to do that as well.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, all opposed? So voted. Next, we have a motion to approve home education. Chairs will entertain a motion. We have a motion from Mr. Gignac, second by Mr. Hoey. Mr. Superintendent?
Yes, this is the usual request that we have from, to have a permission for homeschooling, and Ms. Abrams? You wanna-
Yes, this is just an updated one of our families that would like to continue to homeschool their children. they've attached and given us a very comprehensive report of the work that they will be doing. And, you know, we take this very seriously in my office, and I recommend that we move forward.
Move approval.
Okay, we have a motion approved by Mr. Gendron, seconded by Mr. Dakota. Discussion on the, roll call on the motion, I'm sorry. The clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Doherty? Mr. Gendron?
Yes.
Mr. Gignac?
Yes.
Mr. Hoey?
Yes.
Mayor Kennedy?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Dakota?
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 absent, approved.
Okay, the next order of business is a budget transfer. The chair would entertain, and it's a budget transfer in order to pay the remaining invoices for expenses related to the recent New England Association of Schools and Colleges accreditation visit. The superintendent is recommending that the school committee transfer the amount of $9,770.43 from the advertising account to the account necessary to pay for this. Mr. Gagnon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have 2 quick questions.
Could we get a motion first?
Sure.
Motion to approve by
Sure.
Mr. Gignac, seconded by Mr. Gendron. Mr. Gignac.
Thank you. Just 2 quick questions. First, what was the budgeted amount for this?
Budgeted amount I'm sorry. The budgeted amount for this was $15,000.
Okay.
And it's projected to cost approximately $24,000.
Do we know why it was so much more expensive than we anticipated?
I'm sorry, I was not involved in the budget process, so I don't know how that figure was arrived at. It was just a lump sum figure in that particular account. I do know that most of the costs for an accreditation report goes towards the room and board for those people who come in and actually do the observation and write the report. The bills that are outstanding right now are related to reimbursement for them for traveling. So I'd like to get that paid. And in addition, there is a fee that goes to NEASC for doing the accreditation report. That won't be paid until the report is in the hands of the school district, obviously, and that's projected to be done in February.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion on the transfer? If not, all in favor? All opposed? Oh, roll call, I'm sorry.
Ms. Doherty? Mr. Gendron?
Yes.
Mr. Gignac?
Yes.
Mr. Hoey?
Yes.
Mayor Kennedy?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Dakota?
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 absent, approved.
Next order of business, next section of the agenda has to do with convention and conference requests. If there's no objection, the chair would entertain a motion to approve all 4 convention and conference requests all in one. The motion by Ms. Martin to do so, seconded by Mr. Gignac. Discussion on the motion. All in favor? A roll call.
Ms. Doherty? Mr. Gendron?
Yes.
Mr. Gignac?
Yes.
Mr. Hoey?
Yes.
Mayor Kennedy?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Dakota?
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 absent, approved.
The next.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, just on that topic on these groups, I know that some of these we've got middle school groups and then some staffing trips. Just as a reminder, there is an international trip, obviously, that we've just approved going to Paris, the Riviera, and Rome. Sounds like a lovely way to spend February vacation 2017. Just as a reminder to staff at the high school and to students and parents, there is a scholarship that is available for students if they would like to, it's basically just an essay they need to submit where they can get the cost of this trip paid for from the Martha McQuaid Adventure Fund. Teachers are aware of it. I know that the individuals that are part of this are aware of it, but just for any parents or students watching at home, it can be a great opportunity that can be made available to a student free of charge thanks to this scholarship.
Thank you very much. The next section of the agenda has to do with communications. We have one communication, which is a letter to Representative Dave Nagel, Ratty Mom, Tom Skolden, and Senator Eileen Donahue. We need a motion to accept and place the letter on file. So moved by Mr. Gendron, second by Mr. Dakota. All in favor of the motion? All opposed? So voted. Having no more business this evening, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion to adjourn by Mr. Gignac, seconded by Mr. Gendron. All in favor of the motion, all opposed? We stand adjourned.
Well,
Thank you.